Looking ahead, later this week, we've got Apple coming up. I know this is your bread and butter. You know, we've been talking about what's happening with the iPhone 10 and the iPhone 8. We're not going to see any of that yet in this quarter.
No.
What are you looking for?
Well, I mean, the big number that everybody's looking for is going to be the calendar Q4 forecast, because that's going to give us the first hint of what we can expect on iPhone 10 demand. So right now everybody's talking about the fact that, oh, it's 5 to 6 weeks, that's great demand. Well, it's either great demand or short supply, or realistically a little bit of both.
Right.
Which is probably what it's going to be there. So, you know, and the iPhone 8 story is not going to play itself out much in this last quarter, maybe a little bit, but everybody seems to have written it off. I mean, you know, the weird thing is, all of a sudden the market's decided, oh, we're going to think 3 quarters ahead for Apple. They never do that. So all of a sudden now it's okay. I don't quite understand why they're doing that, but hey.
Do you think the iPhone 8 could see a bump in demand once users are able to see the phones, both the phones in their hand, and they can say, do I really want to pay $300 more for this or not? Maybe I'll just go with the iPhone 8? Actually, or unlikely?
I don't think so. And the reason is, the people who see the 8 and go, oh, this is nice, I still think are going to gravitate back down to the 7 and the 6S, which we've started to see because it's much less expensive. Because the thing we still haven't seen with the iPhone 10 is once all the Apple fans spend their $1,000 on the phone, and then we get to regular people, I'm not convinced that they're all going to go, oh yeah, $1,000, no problem. Instead, I think they're going to go back and look at the 8 and go, 6 and 7, not so bad, because I'm sitting on a 5 or even an older phone. So yes, I'm going to upgrade. So I don't know. I mean, you know, this first round Apple could have charged $2,000 and people would have signed up for it. But next year it'll be different.
Any concerns about the facial recognition technology and some of the reporting?
You know, there's like 1 or 2 reviews out there saying it's not clear. It's way too early to say, right? One phone, one person, or 1 or 2 people. Too early to tell. Obviously, it needs to work, but we'll see what happens.
Okay, last quick question. Facebook also coming up. I mean, obviously, Facebook's got some big stories to deal with this week, but it also happens to be their earnings call on November 1st.
Yeah, I mean, I think Facebook's going to be just fine this time around. They're continuing to show that the reach of their influence is extending. Therefore, I think from a financial perspective, I think we'll be just fine. The longer term question is, will there be regulations applied? Do they have to be thought of more as a media company? Therefore, there'll be more regulations on how ads come in? Will that slow down the rate of growth on programmatic advertising and all these other things that they do that the traditional media companies can't get away with?